Hey, everybody. Welcome into the edition of Brainley's Virtual Tour Live. We have so much to talk about. Oh, my Lord. Hang on one second. Well, I can tell you the audio is working just fine. But no, seriously, we do have a lot to talk about. Of course, as you guys know, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. So much to talk about with them, Disney and Hulu. I have my thoughts on that. Omar the YouTuber, I've never heard of this guy, but I did see a video of his, and people say that he's very inspirational. I'll tell you more about him. LeBron James is taking his one of his many brands on the road for an HBCU tour, and then finally, Uncle Nathan Nearest Green and what they have done with his namesake is so big. So we have a lot to talk about. But before we get to all that, I do have to just share this thing here, okay? Because the drama that will be of today's live is like one in particular thing. So let me just play it here, and I'm going to mute myself. So this is the drama that we're about to get into, or the energy of this show is about to be like this promo. Y'all ready?
You don't want to miss.
You have a dark soul.
Oh,
I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing lives.
this.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
So if y'all did feel that, okay, if y'all did not feel that of having a dark soul and I'm changing lives, and I mean Carlos said it all. You know, that energy, that intensity, that heat from that promo is the energy of that show today. So welcome in, glad to have all of you here. So let's do what we do and go live on tour, shall we? Let me turn down the music here. By the way, another great show yesterday. Go check out that show. Had to do a little something to it, but it is back up for all of you to enjoy. So let's do what we do. So as y'all know, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. So they've been separated for 7 years now, since 2016. And they were separated, with the Oscars, okay? So everybody remembers the Oscars and that infamous slap heard around the world. Well, they did an interview, or Jada did an interview with Hoda Kotb, and basically she was saying that in so many words, they kept having the fantasy of each other, who each other needs to be. And honestly, she said that at the end of the day, that the marriage, right, that she wasn't ready, or they weren't ready to put out that information, that they weren't really together. And listen, I mean, if everyone's already talking about it, you just confirmed it, is it really news though? Is it really news? And so it's just like, first of all, you already talked about your entanglement on a red table talk that was known to the world. And, then you do this. And it's just like, not to mention, too, there was a birthday party where Will Smith actually went and found her ancestry and all that type of stuff, did this whole big to do. And Jada was so upset about it. And it's just like, at this point, Jada, why? In the words of the auntie of pop culture, Patty Jackson, she said, I quote, if the book doesn't work out, then what have you? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get myself together here. There we go. But like I said, the words of Patty Jackson, if it doesn't work out with the book, then what? And y'all, so as I am laying here in the bed, chilling out, minding my own business, I see, shout out to Tanya, who is a black entertainment journalist. She's got like this amazing bald head, looks amazing. She has been known in the game for a long time. So I see her give a exclusive for people. Y'all, what I'm about to show y'all is absolutely crazy, okay? So this comes to us from People Magazine, okay? Jada Pinkett Smith says Chris Rock asked her out on a date amid rumors that she and Will were divorcing, okay? So Jay Pinkett Smith has spoken to Chris Rock since the Oscars incident, but she hopes everyone involved can find peace. The actress whose book Worthy is out October 17th tells people in a candid new interview that no, I haven't talked to Chris since the March 27th, 2022, um, when her husband Will Smith struck him on stage at the Oscars after taking issue with a joke made about Jada. Do I have any desire to talk to Chris? Here's my desire. I just hope that all the misunderstanding around this can be cleared up and that there can be peace, she adds. I talk about this in the book. I think there might be some misunderstanding between Chris and I as far as the 2016 Oscars. I think that he might have taken offense, which I meant no harm in offending. That wasn't my intention. But I do think that there's a big misunderstanding there. Jada says Jada 52. Back in 2016, when Will was overlooked for his concussion performance and the acting nominations recognized no actors of color, Jada was vocally in support of the hashtag Oscars So White movement, called for a boycott of the award show. Chris, who was hosting that year, made jokes about Jada in his monologue and in his Netflix comedy special earlier this year. Chris claimed that Jada told him he should quit the hosting gig out of solidarity. Jada admits not really recognizing the level of pressure Chris might have been under at the time. I probably should have called him and gone, "Hey, are you okay?" I'm just and just know that uh, although that I'm speaking out about the Oscars, I do wish you the best. I just want you to know that me taking the time to have called him and said that just to touch base, but his feelings might have been hurt. But Jada asks, all we can ever do is just just look at our part and see what we could have, see where sorry, and see where could have I done something that would have seemed as if whatever misunderstanding might have been created, what I could have done to avoid that misunderstanding. The one thing that I think about is that call. Jada said Chris 58 called her afterward 2016 and she thought they moved on. Whew, this is a lot, y'all. He apologized and I apologized to him as well, she says. So I actually thought we were good. That hatchet was buried between us and we hadn't talked since then until 2022 came. Directly after the slap, Jada says Chris came down stage to speak to her during a pause in the live broadcast where he was presenting an award. Chris came down to the end of the stage and tried to apologize to me. He said, I didn't mean you any harm. I said, I can't talk about this now, Chris. This is some old ish. I thought this was about the Oscar 2016 and that there's some stuff that they had before he came to the picture in the late 80s. I gotta leave that to Will and Chris to talk about, but they got their stuff for sure. Just as do y'all want me to read on or no? Because like this is just team too much. Just all of this really. I sincerely understand that your business is your business, but in the same token though, come on. Was Jada, who lives with alopecia, offended by the joke at the center of the Oscars incident? Chris making a punchline about her shaved head. I mean, that's what comedians do, says Jada. I would just have to say that I am not really here to make any judgment on how people decide to express themselves and express their art. I'll say that several times I had my feelings hurt for sure. I've had my feelings hurt a lot by Chris, but at the end of the day, too, being the spotlight, it comes with the territory. Jada also reveals in her book that Chris once asked her out on a date, explaining more to people. She says, I think every summer all the reports would come out that me and Will were getting a divorce. And this particular summer, Chris thought that we were getting a divorce. So he called me and basically was like, I'd like to take you out. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, aren't you and Will getting a divorce? And I was like, no, Chris, those are just rumors. He was appalled. He profusely apologized, and that was that. So the divorce wasn't a divorce on paper, but by 2016 they were just exhausted of trying. So Jada also made a promise that there would never be a reason for us to get a divorce. Explain we would work through whatever. Honestly, to tell you the truth, what I really truly feel about the Will and Jada thing is this: if you have separated, just go ahead and get a divorce. Just go ahead and get the divorce. It's not the end of the world. Like, it just seems that at this point, y'all are holding on to each other for stats at this point. And although we can all admit that Will Smith is a bigger star than Jada Pinkett Smith, hashtag don't at me, but I think at the end of the day, this marriage is done. I mean, you've been separated for 7 years from 2016 onward. It's time. It's time to move on. Like, just it is what it is. But here's the thing. So everybody's been giving their take on this all day long. So of course y'all know me, you take out. This is what they're saying on Black Twitter. Okay, I'm not saying this at all. Oh my God. See, I want this shirt for a particular reason. I can't get it, but anyway, it's for it coming up. But anyway, so this comes from our friends from Media Takeout. So it says Black Twitter called Jada and Will elevated Blueface and Christian cheating, drug use, and violence. Now, personally, I think that is way out of line, okay, because I do not believe that Will Smith has ever hit Jada Pinkett Smith. So that's just way out of line. But I'm giving y'all this as the story is. So it says Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith were once seen as the picture of the perfect black couple, but Jada has officially ended all that with the explosive revelations in her new book. Media Takeout confirmed that Jada describes what appears to be a very dysfunctional family. In her book, Jada explains that the entire family, including their adult children, takes powerful psychedelic drugs. Her and Will have openly cheated, and Jada says that the violent encounter at the Oscars with Chris Rock was unprovoked because she and Will weren't together. Now, after all this messiness, Black Twitter is calling them the elevated version of Christian Rock and Blueface. Both Christian and Jada both grew up in the hood in Baltimore. And by the way, the drugs, this is not allegation. Um, Jaden Smith has talked about this, as I'm about to read here. On drug use, Jada explained that Will and herself take the powerful psychedelic drug ayahuasca, and so do now their adult children, Willow and Jaden, to take it from People magazine interview. Friends of her son Jaden mentioned that their dad had gone through a ayahuasca ceremony where a leader supplies a plant-based psychedelic drug, usually brewed into a tea, to drink and guides the subject through hallucinations. Ayahuasca helped me and gave me a new intimate relationship with myself that I never had before. Jada said since the first time she took the drug, the idle thoughts completely went away. Jada says her husband and her children, as adults, have also taken ayahuasca. On Jada being surprised that Will slapped Chris, um, because she wasn't even with Will at the time. So, it says here it's not until Will yells from his seat back up at Chris to keep my wife's name out of your blanking mouth and then repeats it that I perceived the gravity of the situation. And that, no, it had not been a skit. Even so, I'm unclear to the reason why Will is so upset. We have been living separate lives and we were there as a family, not as husband and wife. But when I hear Will yell wife in the chaos of the moment, an internal shift of, oh, ish, I am his wife happens instantly. Jada on trying to commit suicide when she turned 40, despite having a successful career being married to the biggest star in the world from the People interview. Jada is aware of how her life looked from the outside, especially about a decade ago. The glamour, the smiles, the mansion, the gowns, and the movie premieres. They have it all, but while I was living really as I was really living the dream, I took I hit a huge wall, a massive amount of depression. I think that I looked at having outside sources to supplement the voice I was feeling inside. She said the voices were incoming, just ill yourself. You're not worth anything. You ain't ish. Jada began to plot her passing. I started looking for places, cliffs where I could have an accident. because I didn't want my kids to think that their mother had committed suicide. Y'all, that's extremely, extremely heavy. I do not wish that on anybody. I mean, mental health is real. And, listen, I did not grow up with any drugs growing up. First of all, my parents, they did do that, and they wouldn't allow us to do that. We did do that. We got punished as we should have. Um, but I think also, too, what this goes to show is that whether you are high upon the hill or you're at the base of the hill, everybody's struggling with something. And, listen, I can only imagine that even though Will and Jada had not been together since 2016, guess what? Even though we're separated, you're still my wife. That commitment I made to you, that's the way I'm going to show up as a husband. So I understood what Will did, although I wish it wasn't live on ABC and internationally broadcasted around the world. But, it is what it is. I think we can all say, well, we wouldn't do that. Well, we don't know unless we were there. Because to have all of Hollywood see you and your wife in that situation and somebody making fun of your wife, I think anybody in that room, if Chris Rock would have made a joke on them, somebody would have had a reaction to something. I do believe it is unfair still that he is banned from the Oscars for 10 years. It's just like, you do realize there are other people in Hollywood with way worse allegations, right? And yet they still have a career. Like Tiffany Haddish, much respect to her for what she has been able to do. But, Tiffany Haddish and Ari Spears did what they did. And Tiffany Haddish is on the new season of Celebrity Squares. Sometimes the outrage is too selective. To use Chris Rock's word, selective outrage. But that's just my take. I hope everybody finds their peace. But that was a lot. Since 2016, they've been separated. I mean, I'm not surprised, but also, too, it's like, at this point, just file it. Because the only other person I can think is Sinjin and, let me find them. Tanya and Sinjin, that's the name. Tanya and Sinjin from 90 Day Fiance, because Tanya was on 90 Day Fiance, The Single Life, and she was dating this guy, and the guy said, "So what? You're not divorced on paper, where I can't date you." So it's one thing to have a mental divorce, but until you sign that paper, y'all still married. So, but hey, to each their own. To each their own. I do believe, though, that I think Will Smith will probably get somebody first before Jay Pinkett Smith. Just my take. Just my take. You know what? I'm surprised that, because here's the thing: the interview was on. Let me see if I can find it here. Let me see if I can find it. The interview was on the Today Show, right? So, and of course, I will have to pause at certain points, y'all, um, because I do not want, um, you know, I don't want, copyright. So give me a moment as I get it together here. I have not seen the interview. I didn't even know that this was going to be on today. So I knew that there was going to be a. I knew that Jada came out with a book. Hey, Shan, welcome in. Good to see you. I knew that Jada came out with a book, but I didn't know that this interview happened today. It goes to show you the power of morning TV still matters. So y'all give me a moment. Okay, so I will have to pause this at points. Okay, I will have to pause this at points. So please forgive me. Okay. All right.
We are back 8:14 with Carson and Hoda's exclusive interview with Jada Pinkett Smith, and everyone's going to be talking about this.
Yeah, she is one half of Hollywood's most powerful couple. She's at the center of constant gossip and controversy, including that slap at the Oscars. She was sitting right next to Will Smith. And when we met up with Jada in her hometown of Baltimore to talk about her candid new memoir, Worthy, She opened up about an issue that has been kept secret until now.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, or you're just walking into this, welcome. We are live on tour. So basically, Jada Pinkett Smith has a new book called Worthy, and this is the interview. So I will be pausing it at points because I don't want to get copyright. Okay, so just forgive me. All right, just roll with me. All right.
There are so many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Okay, so I don't know how to feel about this because when she did that with, she had a smile on her face. I mean, I guess you try to have a positive energy about what you're going through, but in the same token, though, like, why in the world he supported you through a lot? Like, not to mention y'all got Westbrook Entertainment Group, y'all have Overbrook Entertainment. Like, this is beyond bit. Of course, Will Smith is your business partner, but he's also the father of your kids, and he also has loved you through a lot. And just that, but okay, hey, listen, to each their own.
Yeah.
But in public, the couple, who married in 1997, denied the gossip about their marriage. This interview on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen was taped a year after Will and Jada separated.
So how long have you guys been together?
23 years.
Wow. That's amazing. How do you keep it hot?
How do I keep it hot? Maybe I don't know. I mean, I'm baffled, really.
Yeah, right.
Over the next several years, Jada and Will kept up the appearance of a committed married couple. They even faced a scandal when Jada had what she called an entanglement with a...
Okay, so listen. Hey, Annette, welcome in. So listen, we all know about the entanglement. Apparently, Jada was being more than a mother to her own kids, and Jada became Mama Bear to son August Alsina, and they had an entanglement. I'm using Mama Bear and son as an analogy or as a metaphor, y'all. Okay, so don't hashtag don't at me. Okay, but yeah, so let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling.
family friend. Neither let the public know they had already split.
So I guess my question is, I feel like you're a straight talker,
I am.
except you're not sometimes.
Yeah.
So why do that? Like, what was the reason?
I think just not being ready yet. Still trying to figure out between the two of us
Yeah.
how to be in partnership, right? And in regards to how do we present that to people, you know? And we hadn't figured that out.
So they have figured out how to move on from each other, even though they've been separated since 2016. Okay. And by the way, when we get to the end of this, I'm going to tell you who should be Will Smith's new partner. I'll tell you who. I think y'all may be surprised with this. Some of y'all may not be surprised. But let's keep going.
During our walk in Baltimore, Jada reflected on their breakup.
Why did the relationship fracture?
Oh, why it fractured? That's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think by the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying. I think we were both kind of still stuck in our fantasy of what we thought the other person should be.
Oh.
Jada says she considered a legal divorce, but could never go through with it.
I made a promise that there will never be a reason for us to get a divorce. We will work through whatever. And
So that they will work through whatever. There's a lot of whatever that has happened there, like real talk, and I just sincerely do not know what else y'all need to work through. Like I said, far be it from me to tell y'all what to be, but just okay, that's what you have to say. But all right, let's keep rolling, y'all.
just haven't been able to break that promise.
But you still live separately.
We live separately.
I have so many questions. So do I. I have so many questions.
It was the strangest. It was the strangest kind of revelation to realize that these two people have had separate lives. I mean, they have not called each other husband and wife in all of those years,
Except for the appearance everywhere they went.
except for the appearance.
So the fact that all of them had a reaction, like, let's go back for a minute. Let's go back for a minute and just see everybody's reaction.
We live separately.
I have so many questions. So do I. I have so many
It
questions.
was the strangest. It was the strangest kind of.
And here's the thing, right? So on morning TV, to give y'all a little insight, what you see from 7 to 9 a.m. has already been planned. Basically, they have their meetings at 2, 3 p.m. and there's some behind the scenes videos of some morning shows of the Today Show, GMA. I think there might have been behind the scenes of CBS This Morning before it became CBS Morning. So they do their meetings in the middle of the afternoon, and they stay on top of all the headlines throughout the day, just like we do here on YouTube. And then in the middle of the night, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. is crunch time, okay? So the anchors never see the footage until they're live right there with all of us watching them. So if you can imagine for Hoda Kotb, who was a legendary journalist, if you can imagine how real it was for her in Baltimore to sit there with your coworkers that you spend 2 hours a day with, 10 hours a week on live national television, for all of them to see that for the first time had to be emotional times 10. Okay, so let's keep rolling.
Revelation to realize that these two people have had separate lives. I mean, they have not called each other husband and wife in all of those years.
Except for the appearance everywhere they went.
Except for the appearances, right, including at the Oscars.
Yes.
By the way, there's a whole chunk in this book that we're going to get into in the Dateline special and also a little later here of what happened in that moment when he, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's a whole backstory there too. But Jada is candid and honest.
So, like she said, hey, Rue, welcome in. So like Hoda said, that there is more to the story about that slap leading up to it. I just told y'all that Chris Rock hosted the 2016 Oscars with hashtag Oscars So White. So that's the lead up to that. So let's keep rolling.
In this book, I mean, she's saying things that she's never said, so they've kind of been living this pretend life publicly
For years.
They knew the secret. They know it.
So
They
now
just haven't
she's
shared
telling everyone.
Yeah.
But they're not divorced.
Nope.
So they're
it. And
separated.
they don't plan on it. They don't plan on getting divorced.
I think a lot of American families can relate, though. I think there's a lot more distance between husbands and wives than anybody ever really talks about.
Yeah.
But this sounds like something.
Yeah, that's a bigger goal.
Yeah, it's a big.
So, you know, with Carson Daly, you know, I've never been married, but I can't imagine that. You know what I mean? Like we know with Shirley Strawberry and Nesto, that just because you are together doesn't mean that you know everything about your partner and they know everything about you. But then times that by 10, you know, there has to be some distance between your public persona and your private soul, right? So I get what Carson is saying. I thought that was a very astute point.
Bigger Delta.
We have a lot more on this conversation. I was fascinated by her, by the way. First time I'd sat down and spoke with her for a long period of time.
Oh,
You read the book?
I read the book from cover to cover. Yeah, we're going to do a special on NBC News. It's called Jada's Story, Friday night, 8/7 Central.
I want to hear your podcast with her so we can go like 2 hours long for it.
So Friday night, 8/7 Central on NBC. Now, would I like to cover this live? Sure, I would. But also, too, you don't want to get copywritten. So we'll have to figure that out. Maybe I'll watch it. I'll take my notes. And then, Monday, I'll come back on. And y'all let me know. Would y'all like for me to review this? Because I will watch it Friday. I am going to watch it just to be curious about it. But if you guys want me to, I will review it and then come back on and we'll talk about it. Because I'm going to assume that other people on social media will review it and talk about social media. So we're going to finish this clip out real quick.
Let's go, Carson. All right.
Well, it's going to be so interesting because, how people are going to
what
react
happened?
because it's
First time I'd sat down and spoke with her for a long period of time.
You read the book?
I read the book from cover to cover. Yeah, we're going to do a special on NBC News. It's called Jada's Story, Friday night, 8/7 Central.
I want to hear your podcast with her so we can go like 2 hours long for
Let's go, Carson. All right.
Well, it's going to be so interesting because, how people are going to react because it's one thing, everyone understands a marriage breaking up or, things being complicated with your family, but then the kind of public ruse is, I know you ask her a lot about that.
There'll be a lot more. And we want to mention also that Jada also spoke to People Magazine, which is on stands this week.
And she's going to be here live in studio Monday, correct?
Yeah, she'll be here Monday. Okay. Got a lot going on.
Wow. All right.
All right. So there it is, y'all. That's going to be a jam-packed weekend. So interview came out today, which is what's today? Wednesday? So interview comes out today, or part of it comes out today, with the biggest revelation. Now, here's the thing. When selling a book, of course, you may or may not tell the biggest part of the book, but I would have waited Friday. To release that critical piece of information. Let the weekend be what the weekend's going to be. And then Monday, that revelation that you said Friday. But hey, that's how they wanted to do it. So Shan says that I ain't watching the weirdos. Child, that's marriage sounds crazy. Thus, this is why I don't believe them. Let's see. Hey, Janika Thompson is in the chat. Hi. My good friend from our Ray to Love panel. It's good to see you here. Shan says Will should never put his hands on Chris if they separate. Child, she is not good for him. Listen, Friday night, 8/7 Central on NBC will be the exclusive with Hoda Kotb. So that should be quite a interesting interview. Now, since we are talking about networks and things of the sort, here is some news for all of you. Now, if you have Disney Plus, if you have Hulu, I need you to know this right now, okay? Let's see here. Let me just make sure that I have the correct thing. Oh, before that, I told y'all who I think should be Will Smith's partner. And when y'all, and I want your real honest opinion, okay? Want your real honest opinion. Don't hold back from me, okay? But I think that this particular person has enough soul to handle Will Smith. And not to mention, I think it's long overdue, okay? So I want y'all first reaction. Y'all ready? All right. What y'all think? Will Smith and Taraji P. Henson? What y'all think? Now, the reason why I say Taraji P. Henson would be a good choice, and yes, we're going to get to the Disney Hulu thing because that is some big news I definitely want y'all to know about. The reason why I feel like Taraji P. Henson and Will Smith will be good together is because, for one, they both grew up in the industry at the same time, right? Number two, they both have a respect for what they do as. Hey, listen, this is just my take. Shan, hashtag don't at me. Don't at me. This is just my take. But I do believe that they have a great respect for what they do as individuals. Taraji P. Henson has her mental health foundation. I know Will Smith has been open about his mental health. And, honestly, too, I think Will Smith and Taraji P. Henson would look good together. That's just my take, okay? Look, if y'all don't like my take, put in the chat who you think Will Smith should be with. Or do you think that Will Smith should he's been on a break for 7 years. I mean, at this point, he can see whoever he wants to. But Janika says, I don't care. They both are single. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the worst that can happen, right? What is the worst that can happen? And that GL is giving me laughing emoji. Shan said, no, sir, let my sis be. Okay. It is what it is. Will is a weirdo, and Taraji's a real sister. Will should be alone and let her do and just do his thug nizzle. Well, here's the thing, right? I think that Will actually has more to him than what's been projected, right? And as I often say, people will take one moment of you and make that the masterpiece inside their head about who you are. Meanwhile, there's a whole collection. Don't worry about the temporary visitors to your art gallery. Worry about the permanent members of your art gallery. And you know what? Sometimes, and I think we got to give people some grace here. If Will Smith was with somebody different, I think we would see a different side of Will. Just like if somebody was with me, there are different sides to me based on who is around me. So I'm just saying. Not to mention, too, did I not choose a good choice though? Like, come on. I mean, I can't get with Taraji. Well, I mean, she was Cookie lying, man. Let me tell you something. And what? Let me stop. Hashtag stop Braylon. Anyway, so let's get to this news. And thank you, Annette. I appreciate that. Anyway, y'all give y'all thoughts on who y'all think Will Smith should be with, okay? And like I said, I think Will Smith will get somebody before J. Pinkett Smith. But anyway, so for those of you who have Disney Plus and Hulu, this is a big deal. So let me get this together for y'all, okay? See, thank you. See, come on. I'm not gonna leave my people out there like that. I'm gonna give you something good. All right. So, I love y'all, I really do. So this comes to us from Cord Cutters News. So Disney will reportedly offer a new bundle deal for Hulu and Disney in 2024 and will merge the apps later this year. Okay. So back in May, Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, announced plans to merge the Hulu and Disney apps into a single app. Each platform will remain its own service, but combined to a single app. While we continue to offer Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus as standalone options, this is a logical progression. I think logic should be in the eye of the beholder, but let's move on. As of our direct-to-consumer offerings that will provide greater opportunities for advertisers while giving bundle subscribers access to more robust and streamlined content, resulting in greater audience engagement, ultimately leading to a more unified streaming experience, CEO Bob Iger said on the earnings call. Now, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that not only will the merger happen later this year, but in March of 2024, a new bundle deal of Hulu and Disney Plus content will launch. The deal was originally meant to launch when the apps merge, but because of delays, Disney won't launch until March of 2024. Disney is hoping that this new bundle will drive as many as 150,000 new subscribers and generate millions in revenue. Exactly how will this be different from the current bundles is unknown, though Disney has a lot of options from a bundle deal with live channels from Hulu plus live TV that won't include ESPN could be one option that has been speculated. Disney has approximately 5,000 advertisers. This app could help aim their ads to land on the audience's right ears. Advertisers will be more personalized to target audiences rather than using traditional advertising tactics. What we're doing right now, because we own 2/3 of Hulu, we have an agreement with Comcast that may result to us in owning 100%. And what we're really studying the business and we're really studying the business very, very carefully, all those competitive dynamics with, and understand that we have a good platform in Hulu. Okay, so this is what I have to say about all this. Honestly, this is a dumb decision. I'm just going to be real about it, and I'm going to bring up something here that may give some context to my reasoning, okay? So let me share this. All right, this comes from Wikipedia. Shan says, if they take away ESPN Plus, I'm no longer subscribed. That's the only reason why I have the bundle. And see, that's where the problem lies, Shan, is that there are some people that they are huge Disney fans and they love Disney Plus because it's all Disney 24/7. There are people that love adult content from Disney. That's Hulu. And there are people who love sports. That's ESPN Plus. So let me share this, and I will give you my reasoning on why I think that this may not be the best decision, okay? So there was a production company called Touchstone Pictures, right? So this was founded and funded by the Walt Disney Company. Feature films released under the Touchstone label were produced and financed by Walt Disney Studios and featured more mature themes at adult audiences than typical Walt Disney films. Such as Touchstone were merely a brand label for the studio, did not exist as a distinct business operation. So, due to the increased public consumption that Disney films were aimed at children and adults, films produced by Walt Disney Pictures or Walt Disney Productions began to falter at the box office. This began in 1975 with the release of Escape to Witch Mountain and its 1978 sequel with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. In late 1979, Walt Disney Pictures released The Black Hole, a science fiction movie that was the studio's first production to receive a PG rating. The company, however, had already released it during Buena Vista Distribution, its first PG rated film, Takedown, almost a year before the release of Black Hole. So they have all of that, right? So then they said they wanted to make Touchstone Pictures with 3 to 4 movies released under the label. Now, why am I bringing up Touchstone Pictures, which is a old movie label? Because Touchstone Pictures allowed Disney to make adult content. If you combine, now this is just my opinion. Now I'm not saying Disney is dumb overall. Okay, they made it to 100 years, which is a monumental accomplishment. I mean, you think about Walt Disney in Marceline, Missouri, under a tree, drawing cartoons, having his own company with Alphagrams Inc., walking through the blistering cold of Chicago in those winters, throwing newspapers to neighbors to make a buck out 15 cents, and then to lose Oswald the Lucky Rabbit to Charles Mintz, and to then come up with a character named Mickey Mouse, which Lillian gave the name Mickey. And from then on, Disney has been known to 100 years. That's a huge accomplishment. So do not take the fact that I'm saying that Disney's making a dumb decision as Disney being dumb, okay? However, Disney needs a platform to do just adult content. If you combine Disney Plus with Hulu, the audiences will be mixed. Yes, advertisers will like that more, but also too, Disney Plus is known for animated movies. Yes, they're getting to unscripted with National Geographic and, other content, but when you think of Disney, you think of Snow White, Aladdin, Emperor's New Groove, Wall-E, Elemental, which I watched. Elemental is a fabulous movie. Y'all should watch it. But if Hulu gets in there, then it's like, okay, is Is Disney Plus for kids and families, or is Disney Plus for adults? So you have a mixed audience. Shan says, I think Disney has some good content and I watch Hulu regularly. I would just opt out and just go with ESPN Plus because as a bundle works alone. Um, but standalone Disney nor Hulu isn't interesting enough for me. So that's the key, right? So streaming is a huge business, but Disney has lost $1 billion in terms of streaming. Okay, so let me share this here. By the way, y'all like the new stuff I'm doing. Y'all like the new stuff I'm doing. I hope y'all do. So here it is here. Um, Click that off and go right back up to the top. So Disney hopes to make Disney Plus, ESPN, and ESPN Plus and Hulu profitable by September 2024. So Disney's on a tight deadline to make its streaming service Disney Plus profitable. In July, CEO Bob Iger told skeptical investors that they should see a return by September 2024, which is already less than a year away. The company's 5.5 billion budget cuts and elimination of 7,000 jobs hasn't right the ship, according to the Wall Street Journal. But Iger has made progress on some of its goals to make Disney Plus profitable. Iger's plan includes, of course, I already told y'all that. Disney is in talks to sell off its India assets. The future of the company's traditional holdings like ABC and FX could be a question after Iger said may not be core to Disney's future. And so this is what it is to recoup losses. Disney's hiking prices on its services. Disney Plus Premium will go up to $3. Will go up $3 to $13.99 a month. Hulu without ads will also increase by $3 to $17.99 a month, and ESPN Plus tax on an extra dollar to $10.99 a month. In addition, Hulu with live TV with ads will cost $76.99 per month, while the ad-free version will cost $89.99 a month, a $7 increase for both plans. These price changes will go into effect Thursday, October 2nd, which is tomorrow. So, listen, at the end of the day, I totally get that, Disney is trying to figure themselves out. Now, when it comes to FX, thank you, Annette. When it comes to FX, right? FX, I like bringing up context here because for most of you, you can give two damns about the media industry, right? But I believe that this is what YouTube is supposed to be about, right? So FX is this, right? So let me present. This is what FX is about, okay? So FX is a subsidiary of Disney Entertainment, as a subsidiary of the Disney Entertainment business segment, a division of the Walt Disney Company. So this was owned by Fox, and Disney owns Fox. They don't own the network, though, Fox, because that would be a monopoly. So the network's original programming aspires to the standards of premium cable channels in regard to mature themes of content, high quality writing, directing, and acting. Okay, so originally this was supposed to be interactive television. So there was this thing called FX at breakfast, right? So they had all these different types of shows, and so it was supposed to be a live, living, breathing network. So it channeled itself on interactivity with its viewers, like YouTube. So FX was YouTube before YouTube was YouTube, and so they had this thing called Breakfast Time. And then they started getting into reruns, and then they had The Shield and Rescue Me and Nip Tuck, and American Horror Story, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So, like I said, with Touchstone Pictures, FX could be the home of premium content, but you have to make that your main focus. Now, with ABC, let me see if I can find a clip of ABC in Disneyland, because this is really important. Let's see here, because I want y'all to see I'm trying to find it. ABC invests Disneyland. Sorry, y'all. Y'all give me a moment here. But basically, what ended up happening, and I'll give y'all the story since I can't find it on YouTube. But basically, what ended up happening, Walt Disney was trying to make Disneyland, right? So he went to ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox didn't exist at the time, but it was to. Thanks for the info. Now I need to check the price of my bundle because these prices are going to be more than cable. Exactly right. So all the networks, passed up on Disneyland. And ABC said, okay, we will invest into Disneyland. So, yes, let me actually, you know what? Let me go to Wikipedia because they will probably have the story here. They will have the story here. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay, let me share this because this is important. And this is why I feel like Bob Iger saying ABC being sold is not the best decision. So it says here, so difficulties in obtaining funding prompted Disney to investigate new methods of fundraising. He decided to create a show named Disneyland. It was broadcast on fledgling ABC. In return, the network agreed to help finance the park. For the first 5 years of operation, Disneyland was owned by Disneyland Incorporated, in which it was jointly owned by Walt Disney Productions, Walt Disney Western Publishing, and ABC. In addition, Disney rented out many of the shops on Main Street, USA to outside companies. By 1960, Walt Disney Productions brought all of the shares, but the partnership had already led to a lasting relationship with ABC, which would eventually culminate in the Walt Disney Company's acquisition of ABC in the mid-1990s. Construction began on July 16, 1954, and costed $17 million to complete, which would be the equivalent of $130 million in 2021. So when I tell you that when Bob Iger said that ABC may not be essential to the future of Disney, I'm like, sir, ABC invested into Disneyland, the park. Walt Disney made a show called Walt Disney's Disneyland, and opening day was broadcasted on ABC. And the reason why ABC is so foundational is because guess what? When a new movie comes out, guess what happens with that? They go on Good Morning America. They go on Live with Kelly and Mark. They go on Tamron Hall. They go on The View. They go on GMA3, What You Need to Know. They do specials on 2020. They got Hulu, which, by the way, for those of you who don't know, any show that you watch on ABC, Fox, it is available the next day on Hulu. And guess what? You promote Hulu by promoting it on ABC. Far be it from me to tell Bob Iger what to do. Far be it from me. But in the same token, though, had that purchase not have happened, I don't think Disney will be at 100 years. Because that network is your backbone. Not to mention, too, when a movie comes out, guess what? It's in the theme parks. It's in the merchandising with toys and food and clothing and everything else. And guess what? That gets promoted through ABC. Any digital exclusives, you go to abc.com. So, no, selling ABC would not be a good idea. Because at that point, what are you going to have to promote everything Disney on, right? So now the leverage that you had of owning your own platform, now you're going to have to go to NBC to promote all your Disney movies. You're going to have to go to CBS to promote all your Disney movies. And guess what? Because Fox doesn't have a national morning show, because they're more local morning shows, or basically Fox has local morning shows. So guess what? You would have to go to, all these local markets to promote your Disney movies. Not a bad idea, because guess what? That means the experience is more immediate, but you need ABC. Okay? It's at the point where, Disney needs ABC more than ABC needs Disney, right? Because ABC is just a platform, a huge platform. But Disney, you need ABC to be able to make the clock tick as it does. So, and speaking of cable, right? Because, Shan talked about cable. So, this comes to us from Cord Cutters News. And don't worry, y'all, we will get to the other stories. It's a lot going on tonight. What did I tell y'all? What in the world did I tell y'all? Okay, I told y'all that the drama of this live tonight is going to have the energy. It's going to have the energy of this, okay? I told y'all the energy of this live is going to have the energy of this.
You don't want to miss.
You have a dark soul.
Oh, I'm gonna get past this.
You are changing lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville, New Reunion Part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
Carlos, I'm concerned about me too, because this drama is intensifying with all of these topics tonight on Brantley's Virtual Tour Live. So let's keep rolling on. Hashtag you are changing lives. Lord help. Just okay. Just the way they put that together was just too funny to me. But here it is. Speaking of cable, right? So this also comes to us from Cord Cutters News. The passing of the hidden cable fee. The FTC wants to ban hidden fees that hide the true cost of TV. By the way, I don't know who this is, but she looks gorgeous. Today, the FTC proposed a new rule that would ban fees and bogus fees that are used to drive up the cost of a service higher than advertised. This practice has become very common. Has been very common in cable TV for years. Cable companies will advertise one price on TV, but include a long list of fees, including RSN fee, broadcast TV fee, HD technology fee, and more. Now, under these proposed new rules, cable companies will no longer be able to hide these fees as small text or in your contract, will be forced to include them up front. In the press release, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, said these provisions are aimed at assuring businesses will no longer be able to lure customers with artificially low prices that they then inflate with mandatory fees or deceive consumers about the nature of proposed fees. All too often, Americans are plagued with unexpected, unnecessary fees that they can't escape. These junk fees are now costing Americans tens of billions of dollars per year, money that corporations are extracting from working families just because they can. FTC Chairman Linda M. Khan, by hiding the total price, these junk fees make it hard for consumers to shop for the best product or service and punish businesses who are honest up front. So basically, these are the fees here. The FTC proposed rule to ban junk fees will save people money and time and make our markets more fair and competitive. So these are it here. Consumers told the FTC that dishonest businesses routinely engage in bait and switch pricing tactics that have mandatory fees and deceive customers about the price. This because fees are imposed later, but before the purchase is made, significant increase the total that consumers pay. And the many consumers are often said that they often do not know what the fees are for because dishonest businesses routinely misrepresent or fail to inadequately disclose the nature of the proposed fees. So this is their proposal of this new rule. Doesn't say when it's going to get into effect, but the Federal Trade Commission are determined to make them law. So there you go. Hopefully that information will help all of you out. Woo, a lot going on tonight. Welcome into Brantley's Virtual Tour. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We are live on tour. We'll be on the road for 58 minutes and 49 seconds. So as we roll on, this YouTuber that I'm about to tell y'all about, I did not know he existed. I'm not saying that disrespectfully. I'm just being honest. Let me find it here. So here, YouTube star Omi In A Hellcat sentenced to 5.5 years in jail. So 5.5 years in jail and faces a $30 million fine. This comes to us from Rolling Out. Omar The Youtuber from Philadelphia is at the verge of losing his high-end fleet of cars and properties to pay a hefty fine worth $30 million to the U.S. Marshals. His YouTube account is known as Omi In A Hellcat, has 800,000 followers, and his content has 1 million plus views. He does videos producing hip hop beats where he shows off his fleet of sport and luxury cars, which totals up to 57. Collection of diamond bling and spacious Swainsboro home. His videos has attracted a mass amount of viewers. His downfall began in 2019 when the federal authorities raided his home and they managed to seize his cars and properties, freeze his multiple bank accounts, and shut down the channels he used to sell copyrighted content that he illegally acquired. I'm only guilty for making money. The FBI sees everything, Omni said in a video he posted during the raid. So I guess the raid was on his YouTube channel. In 2021, Omar was indicted for running a successful TV piracy schemes, tax evasion, and frauds. He was given time to be free on bail before he got sentenced. Omar and co-defendants operated on a large-scale internet protocol television privacy scheme, IPTV, in which they fraudulently obtained cable television accounts and then resold copyright content to thousands of their own subscribers, said the Justice Department. He was sentenced in March to serve 5.5 years in jail for all of his crimes. He pleaded guilty. I did not know the significance of this crime until I got arrested, said Bill. He, however, apologized to his family, employees, and companies he scammed. On top of the spending a few years in jail, he'll pay a fine of $30 million, $11 million to the cable companies he pirated, and $5.7 in back taxes between 2016 and 2019. He evaded paying tax for his business income in that period. A total of 57 vehicles are being sold by Apple Company in conjunction with the U.S. Marshal Service. His jewelry will be auctioned separately. 30 million is a lot of money, but tangible objects are not everything. You have a large following, and those are the people who think if you can get away with it, they can. They too can, said District Judge Harvey. Bill Omar has learned his lesson the hard way. So, there you go. I'm gonna try to see if I can find Omari raid. So we're gonna see if okay, so I'm about to show y'all, and shout out to Seti Nash. Sorry, y'all. Shout out to Seti Nash. I'm about to show y'all a little bit of the video, okay? Just a little bit of it. So I gotta pause it in between so that way I won't get copyrighted, okay? So I appreciate y'all rolling with me here. A lot going on tonight. All right, here we go, okay? Oh, let me give credit to the YouTuber, Seti Nash, 144,000 subscribers. All right, with that, here we go.
Annette, would you mind helping her get dressed so we can talk to her about explain what's going on?
Yeah. We'll get dressed.
I want to know what's going on.
I don't want to speak to anybody right now. I want to put on my pants and like. Do you want to get dressed?
What are you guys looking for? You guys got a fixed phone call or something? What's that? You guys got a fixed phone call? We're just gonna have to.
Okay, so from the beginning of that video, they're in, and I think that is his girlfriend. I think there was a video where he asked his girlfriend, could he have a second girlfriend, and she said yes, but he of course was joking. He does not want a second girlfriend. But what I did see from those comments though was that he is actually very inspiring, and people genuinely love this brother. And he seems like a really put together individual. So back to the video, everybody.
Are there any guns in the house? Katie, are there any guns in here?
Yes, give me 1 second.
You can't be reaching into stuff when we're not.
I have a second without them in the room.
You certainly can, but you cannot just reach into things.
I'm not. You're right here. You're literally right here.
Yes.
Like I feel like naked. Like honestly, please.
They're waiting right there. I didn't hear with you. Where's the light switch for this?
Okay, so I'm gonna jump around a little bit with this. Okay, so please forgive me.
You literally haven't done anything for him to be treated like a fucking.
He's not being treated like anything.
Dude, you guys don't even want to tell him what you're taking him in for. Can I please get him some
It's just court stuff.
Yeah, but what the
I don't get charged for this.
shit?
Sir, are your clothes downstairs or upstairs?
I'm back.
All right, why don't we stick with this? And if he wants something else, we'll come back and get him something else, okay?
So, sorry, y'all. So I think y'all get most of what's going on there. Like I said, everybody tries to make $1.15 in some things you should not make $1 out of. I hope everything works out for him. $30 million is a lot to pay. But hopefully he learned his lesson. And at the end of the day, listen, everybody has made mistakes. Everybody had those days. Hashtag nobody's perfect, in the words of Hannah Montana. But at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. Own up to it. Evolve behavior. That's all you can do. So with that being said, LeBron James, King James, that is, he has taken his brand of The Shop on tour. That's right. He has taken his show, The Shop, on tour. So this comes to us from Rolling Out. LeBron James published show The Shop begins a HBCU homecoming tour. King James podcast is going on the road visiting several historic black colleges. The pairs, so King James, LeBron James, and business partner Maverick Carter are embarking on a mini national tour with the podcast The Shop Uninterrupted. The pair's Spring Hill company will commence the Shop Uninterrupted HBCU tour at homecoming weekend at Tennessee State University on Friday, October 13th, and then will replicate those efforts at Hampton University in Virginia and North Carolina Agricultural and Technical University. I'm a little offended that UAPB was not asked to be on this thing, you know what I mean? But it's all good, this is just the first one, and hopefully this will be a regular schmegular thing. The words Cardi B. So as you can see there, we selected these 3 schools for various reasons, including their impact and how they empower students. The Shop co-creator Paul Revere told Anscape is a platform from Disney. It used to be called Uninterrupted, I think. And Janelle Hill wrote for that for a little bit before branching off and doing her own thing. From Tennessee State being the first HBCU to launch a hockey program. Did not know that. North Carolina A&T being the largest HBCU that graduates the most black engineers in America. Did not know that. And Hampton's Rich University, with housing the oldest museum of the African diaspora in the United States. These schools are trailblazers in their own right. So this tour is 18 and only. And so it says here, as you guys can see those statements there. So shout out to LeBron James. Now, of course, I'm going to show y'all the actual website here, where if you are at any of those universities, you can get tickets. Now, I don't know if it's sold out. Oh, yeah, what's good, my man? Good to see you. Oh, yeah, it's a good friend of mine from the world of Clubhouse. It's good to see you, good sir. Gonna go ahead and share this. So this is the HBCU tour. So it says, for years, the Shop Uninterrupted has been the go-to platform for the most authentic and genuine conversations. We've connected with the dopest entertainers. They haven't connected with me yet, so they haven't connected with everybody. But, that's neither here nor there. But they have connected with the dopest entertainers, world-class athletes, music icons to create a cultural phenomenon, Shop Talk. Now, for those of you who don't know, Shop Talk actually started in barbershops around the country, and then they took that and made it a whole brand. So at the Shop, community has always been at the heart of everything we do. It's what drives us to create meaningful connections and promote a sense of togetherness. This year, we're bringing our Shop chairs, celebrity guests, and conversations to select HBCU campuses during homecoming season for unforgettable experiences centered around the power of community collaboration. These events will celebrate the HBCU community and feature influential figures who will spark impactful conversations that empower and inspire the next generation of Black innovators. In addition to the live taping of our award-winning series, The Shop Uninterrupted, there will be interactive elements that will foster connections among the students, alumni, and members of the local community. Join us this fall for the Shop HBCU tour, supported by AT&T, Taco Bell, Toil, and Twix, as we stop by Tennessee State University, Hampton, and North Carolina A&T to continue these to continue these colleges and universities' long legacy of cultivating Black excellence. So here is this one here. So this Friday, everybody, Friday, October 13th. So don't get nervous. That's Friday the 13th, okay? There's Black excellence happening, okay? We rebuke Friday the 13th, okay? Location, Wilton Plaza for activation, and Poggi auditorium for the taping. So from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. will be the activation, and then from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. will be the shop taping. So free lineups. So they're offering free lineups for anybody who want to freshen up their cut. Space will be limited, okay? So sign up early. The product shop is shop exclusive HBCU tour product, only available at the event. So there will not be a website for you to get this get these products. Networking lounge. Head over to our networking lounge to keep the conversation flowing. You might run into some unexpected faces. Live DJ, of course, to keep the vibes high throughout the day. Interactive photo booth, pop shot, and then of course drop by the heat press station to design your own custom shirt with shop patches. Here, Hampton University, Friday, October 27th, dining hall lawn for activation. Robert Ogden auditorium for the taping. Time 1 to 4 p.m. for activation, 4 to 5 for the shop taping, and then 7 p.m. concert at Strawberry Banks, powered by Taco Bell. Now, I don't know who will be performing. It's the same things there. And then for North Carolina, Thursday, November 2nd, 2023, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. activation, 7 to 8 the shop taping. So Village Quad for activation, Harrison Auditorium for the taping. RSVP coming soon. Now, I'm going to click the RSVP so you guys can see what that looks like. So, y'all, general admission and free lineup at 10 a.m. is sold out already, so you can't get that. Lineup at 10:30 a.m. sold out. 11 a.m. sold out. 11:30 a.m. sold out. 12 p.m. sold out. 12:30, 1 p.m. I think y'all get the picture. And 1:30 sold out. Okay, so that is it. Now, general admission is free, so they have 4,718 tickets remaining, so it is absolutely free. So you cannot say that LeBron James and Maverick Carr are not trying to make sure everybody can come. Okay, this one RSVP, as you can see, all of them are sold out. So y'all get your tickets now. The shop live.interrupted.com is the website. All right. So shout out to LeBron James and Maverick Carter for doing that for the community, bringing unity to the community. And of course, y'all know Uncle Nathan near his screen. For those of you who may not know, he is the first African American distiller. You heard me right, the first African American distiller, and he taught a white man named Jack Daniels to make whiskey. That's right, indeed. So, I'm going to play this video, and then I'll get into the news. All right, about this, and this is just so excellent. So, I'm gonna let the whole thing play. Hopefully, I won't get copyrighted. Okay, so Nathan Nearest Green, people, just know I love y'all, and here we go with this. So let me share this, and here we go.
a special home on a special piece of American land. I'm surprised it's still here. This isn't a set. We're in Tennessee, in the hills above Lynchburg. I want to tell you a story, true story. Over 160 years ago, the sight of steam and smoke curling into the sky just around that bend meant one thing to the people of Lincoln County. And the man they called Nearest Green was hard at work making the finest whiskey ever to come out of these hills. He took the same elements available to anyone else: earth, fire, water. He added generational skill, success, surely some failure. He put in everything he had. Most of all, he put in his heart. He created a spirit, an essence. What Nearest Green did here, with this limestone, that clear creek water, those sugar maple trees, he gave birth to Tennessee whiskey. The technique Nearest perfected of filtering his whiskey through charcoal made from sugar maple trees is still revered 2 centuries later as the Lincoln County process. His unique approach was most likely passed down to him from West Africa, where people historically filtered their water through charcoal to purify it. This single innovation in Nearest's hands would become the defining distinction between Tennessee whiskey and Kentucky bourbon. Friends and family called him Uncle Nearest, the first African-American master distiller on record, the founding father of Tennessee whiskey. His story went missing, untold for quite some time. Why? It's complicated. But what's important is that the truth has finally found the light, as it always does. Nearest's given name was Nathan Green. He was thought to have been born in Maryland sometime around 1820. We don't know a lot about his early life, but we do know that in the mid-1800s, he began to work on a farm here in Tennessee. This farm. Nearest Green was a slave here, and later a free man. And this farm belonged to a man named Dan Call, a preacher. Well, Reverend Call wasn't only a preacher. He had a little side hustle. Yeah, a whiskey distillery. And Nearest Green was the one doing the distilling. The whiskey he made was unique in its smoothness. People said it was the best around. But this isn't just a story about a master craftsman.
Y'all
An innovator. It's a story of friendship.
If it is
Around
lagging,
the
it won't come back up.
mid-1850s, a young boy came to work on Dan Call's farm. White boy. Wasn't a privileged kid. Youngest of 10 siblings. Motherless by 4 months old. Small for his age, but he wanted to work. And he helped the preacher out with whatever he could. But the constant smell of wood smoke and the mules and wagons shuffling back and forth up that hollow caught his attention. He wanted to know what the deal was with all that. Finally, the preacher gave in. He took him to meet Nearest. This is Uncle Nearest, he told him. The best whiskey maker I know of. And he asked Nearest to teach his new young apprentice everything he knew about distilling. Nearest took the boy under his wing, taught him well. They became good friends. As the boy got older, he started selling this special whiskey all around these parts and other towns, even to soldiers fighting in the Civil War. He was a natural-born salesman and entrepreneur. The 13th Amendment was ratified on December 6th, 1865. And soon after, Nathan Nearest Green was a free man. That boy, young man now, well, he purchased Dan Call's distillery and named it after himself. And of course, he asked his mentor and friend Nearest to be his first official master distiller. They kept making and selling great whiskey. And during this time, for a good many years to follow, Uncle Nearest's involvement was widely known. His family became one of the most prominent in the area, well respected for their talents and success. And as his business grew, the young man built a new, bigger distillery on another plot of Lynchburg land. Uncle Nearest decided to retire from the game. But his sons, Eli, George, and Lewis, continued to work for the distillery, as did his grandsons, Charlie and Dot. And that chore boy who came to be a brilliant businessman never let his friendship with and respect for Nearest Green and his family go unnoticed. Even after he became one of the most famous whiskey makers in all the world. His legal name was Jasper. Folks around here in Lynchburg still call him Uncle Jack. You know him as Jack Daniel. And now you know Nearest Green. This home, this bottle, this foundation honor that man, his legacy, and his future, because he lives on. Uncle Nearest didn't just make great whiskey, he made history. And now you know that too. And to all those men and women whose stories remain untold, may their truth find the light. A little taste of history.
Makes you emotional, doesn't it? Man. Woo! All right. Anyone else emotional? I wanted to bring you that story because, for one, it deserves to be told. Fawn Weaver, a powerful woman, decided to tell his story, and they made that whiskey, and all the proceeds go to the descendants of Nathan Nearest Green for them to go to college. And when I worked in the liquor department at my job, and where I live, we got a little bit of everybody, but it's a white predominant town. And I would tell them that story that a black man made Jack Daniels happen. Some people are like, I did not know that. And you know what's interesting? Jack Daniels is on the top shelf, but Uncle Nathan Nearest Green is at the bottom shelf. But why do I bring that up? Because it doesn't matter whether you're on the top shelf or the bottom shelf, you still are part of history. So had not been for that bottom shelf of Nathan Nearest Green teaching that man Jack Daniels wouldn't be a part of the top shelf. And to this very day, there are descendants of Nathan Nearest Green working at the distillery now. So why do I tell you all this? Why do I show you that video? Why am I, yourself, and all of us are getting emotional? Because of the news that I am about to tell you. I did say France is black, right? I did say that. And I will drop the link if you guys want to watch that film on your own time. Sometimes you need to watch stuff like that just to let yourself know how far we have come as a people. Let me see if I can find it. Thank you so much. Oh, here it is. So, Uncle Nathan Nearest Green is now the largest Grand Champagne vineyard owner in Cognac, France. I must say it. Hashtag one more time for the one more time. Uncle Nearest is now the largest Grand Champagne vineyard owner in Cognac, France. The super premium whiskey brand makes history with the purchase of historic property built in 1669 by Lord Mayor of Cognac, which houses 40% of the most highly coveted crew in the city of Cognac. So, Uncle Nearest, the most awarded bourbon and American whiskey company of 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. I'm just going to claim it right now, 2023, 5 years running, hashtag 5 years running, has proudly secured ownership of Domaine Saint Martin, nestled along the scenic Charlotte River in the city of Cognac, France. This esteemed estate traces its lineage back over 350 years to the first to the Lord Mayor of Cognac, Philippe de Seville, and subsequently to the very cognac-making luminaries, including the Martel family. Has nothing to do with Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all. Y'all calm down. This family actually did something with their life, okay? Let's calm down. It's four-generation custodian, encompassing over 100 acres with the Charlotte River frontage and unique island. The property adjoins a significant cooperage, expansive cellars, and a distillery. Furthermore, it's 50 acres dedicated to Grand Champagne vineyards, make it Cognac City crown jewel. To be labeled cognac, the spirit must be exclusively produced in the Cognac region of France, which comprises of 6 distinct crus. The Grand Champagne cru stands out as the most sought after. The Uncle Nearest brand thrives on its profound story of love, honor, respect, and heritage. Our mission in Cognac echoes this essence. Remarked Fawn Weaver, Uncle Nearest founder and CEO. Throughout the past year, Weaver and her team, involving key spirit industry figures, have delved deep in cognac roots, extracting groundbreaking insights which she believes will captivate global audiences. Our brand strategy pivots from the norm. We are unveiling a short film at several film festivals, then launching the brand Tease Weezer, hinting at an exploration of cognac's history that surpasses even Uncle Nearest meticulous research standards. Just respect to Fawn Weaver. Nothing of what we just seen of the story of Nathan Nearest Green can surpass cognac history. But hey, listen, we didn't know about Nathan Nearest Green. If you could bring that story, I bet you there's some black soul and cognac. Because, good Lord, all the Hennessy that black people do with Black and Milds and Swisher Sweets, Lord help. Let's elevate the story, shall we, as we continue on. This cinematic portrayal of cognac ascent across America, Europe, and Asia will be narrated by award-winning actor Jeffrey Wright, with filming commencing this spring. Spirit industry stalwart Adrian Parker takes the helm as president of this new venture, which is owned by Uncle Nearest Inc., but will not share the same brand name. He is flanked by seasoned spirit professionals Bella Caroso, who serves as chief marketing officer, and Chauncey Hamlet from the formulation group, who heads innovation. Under Fawn's guidance and innovative approach, the Uncle Nearest team has created a playbook for independent spirits that has never before been seen, said Adrian Parker. In 4 years, they have grown the Nearest Green Distillery to the seventh most visited distillery in the world. While there recently, I observed cars backed up for 1.5 miles each way trying to get in, more than 14,000 visiting that weekend. The Uncle Nearest team went from distribution in one state to all 50 states in less than 2 years, and their sales now rank them in the top 10 of ultra premium American whiskey companies, the only independent company in that ranking. Parker, Caruso, Hamlet, and the cognac team are entrusted with expanding upon Uncle Nearest's success blueprint. The strategic roadmap, according to Weaver, entailed the exhaustive historical research as the foundation collaborated with a globally renowned artist to amplify the story, assembling a top-tier team that is finally attuned with discerning cognac consumers' desires, and then securing a well-known historic property as preference. While more will be unveiled in 2024, which is just only months away, Weaver has invited her vast community on Instagram to join her and the Uncle Nearest team on this exhilarating journey as they seek to prove that lightning in a bottle can be struck twice. How amazing is that? So, thank you to Fawn Weaver and that amazing team there. Y'all, that's our show. Of course, I have more topics, but you see how we do over here. We start with Will and Jada, and we build the crescendo to great news of that magnitude being shared. And I know that every YouTube channel is different. This will probably be the only YouTube channel that will cover that story. And just know when everyone else starts to cover it, because it's trending and not because it has meaning, just know that Braylon Lee shared it first, okay? Just know that. All right, so the other news of the day, y'all. There's so much news going on here. We've been on the road for 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 47 seconds as we continue on this virtual tour. Woo, Lord. I was so emotional from that. Like, anyone else kind of feeling the same thing? I was kind of feel a little emotional from that. It just goes to show you how powerful our history is. So, Carly Russell, as y'all know, kidnapping hoax. This comes to us from CBS 42. Carly Russell found guilty in kidnapping hoax and will have to pay $18,000 in restitution. During a municipal court hearing Wednesday, Judge Brad Bishop found Russell guilty of filing a false police report and falsely reporting the incident, where she reported a child seen walking along I-459 before she went missing on July 13th. On July 15th, she walked back to her home in Hoover, where she told police that she had been abducted. However, after a days-long investigation by police into Russell's statement, she had admitted that she made the whole thing up. Bishop also ordered Russell to pay $831 for each misdemeanor charge, as well as over $17,000 restitution. She is also facing up to a year in jail on the charges. Russell, who pleaded not guilty in the case, will appeal the decision to the circuit court, which that is her right. Following the hearing, Russell's attorney, Emory Anthony, explained why they have decided to appeal the case. We stipulated and appealed the case, and the reason behind it was that they were trying to ask for jail time, which we totally disagree with, Anthony said. So in fairness, there's no need of having trial here, knowing their position. So we have stipulated and appealed the case, and we'll start anew in the Bessemer Circuit Court. Just pay the money. Just pay the money. Hey, Rose Umstead, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Just pay the money. Like, you had everybody out about looking for you, where you basically lied. You admitted that you lied. So no, pay the $18,000, pay the $831 per misdemeanor charge. Take your year in jail. COVID is still out here. You're not gonna be missing much. The ratchetness, the tomfoolery, the hot tea that will be spilled, the eyes that don't have 20/20 vision, and everything else in between. You won't be missing much. Okay, so just do the right thing. Just okay. So, if you guys saw my rolling out stories, there was one story about a particular person named Tyrese Gibson. Yes, he is back in the news, y'all. He is back in the news. Lord help us all. And I will be dropping the link here very soon, so just give me a moment here. I'll actually, you know what? I'll drop the link after this story. So Tyrese is being sued for $10 million by director Brian Barber for slander. The singer of Fast and Furious actor is getting more backlash from the Breakfast Club interview. So for those of you who don't know, Tyrese went to the Breakfast Club and talked about the fact that he hit on DJ Envy's wife, everything in between. R&B crooner Tyrese is still dealing with the fallout from his supercharged interview on the Breakfast Club, particularly as it relates to the fallout with co-host DJ Envy. Now Taris's potential problems could multiply due to an outburst on the syndicated morning show about an acclaimed director. Prolific director Brian Barber has filed a $10 million lawsuit against the baby boy and Fast and Furious star for assailing his character and reputation. Legal documents obtained by The Blast, Barber says Tyrese falsely stated that Barber took Gibson's interview footage and refused to give it back. Gibson paid Barber $35,000 to film the interview footage, and Barber's also stole footage from the other two figures, including Big Boy and Dallas Austin. So basically what ended up happening, according to Tyrese, was Tyrese said on the radio show that he hired Barber to film a Barbara Walters type interview that was going to be conducted by Charlamagne the God at Tyrese's house. Afterward, the plan was for Tyrese and Barber to split fit on a 50-50 basis the revenue derived from streaming and other distribution, legal documents read. Tyrese said Barber kept the footage and refused to give back to the singer. However, Barber vehemently counters that claim, saying Tyrese asked Barber not to release the footage in order to protect his reputation. Barber has stated in the documents that Gibson refused to adhere to the previous 50-50 revenue split, and that he and Barber previously negotiated for the Charlamagne the God interview. Barber rose to Hollywood prominence when he wrote and directed Outcast, Terrence Howard, Polly Patton, and the film Idlewild, which is one of the biggest films of all time. Prior to that, the Grammy-nominated Barber directed visually spectacular videos such as Outcast, Hey, and I like the way you move, da da da. I like the way you move, da da da. I like the way you move, da da da. I like the way, I like the da da. No, I'm sorry, it's a jam, it's a classic, it's a hit. And worked with such musical A-listers such as Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, Kelly Clarkson, Christina Aguilera, Mary J. Blige, Dr. Dre, Kanye West, Janet Jackson, Wiz Khalifa, according to IMDb. Tyrese's allegedly defamatory statements impugn the reputation of Barber and his company Pivot Originals. Barber said the success of Pivot Originals hinges largely on establishing and maintaining trust with original content creators. So listen to the entirety of the Breakfast Club interview. Tyrese transitions into a conversation about Barbara at approximately the 43-minute mark. Tyrese, why, bro? Why do you keep getting yourself into these particular things, bro? Like, really, I just genuinely do not get it. I really don't. So I'm gonna drop the link here. If y'all want to come up and talk about any of the stories at all, feel free. We have a lot going on tonight. We got Will and Jada. They have not been together in 7 years. Then, of course, we have Disney and Hulu combining platforms, which to me, hashtag not the move, but hey, listen, at the end of the day, it is their move. Then a YouTuber that has to pay $30 million for taking copyrighted content and taking accounts and selling them back to said individuals. LeBron James in the shop doing an HBCU tour at Hampton University, at Tennessee State University, at North Carolina A&T University. And then, of course, Uncle Nathan Nearest Green getting into the world of cognac. That's right, with owning. Let me go back to it because I just want to make sure I get this right. The largest Grand Champagne vineyard, becoming the largest Grand Champagne vineyard owner in Cognac, France. So a lot going on tonight. Feel free to come on up. I'm going to turn off my cam because I've been on for 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 43 seconds. Feel free to come on up as we continue to roll on here live on tour. So glad to have all you. This is a jam-packed show. I mean, woo, the emotions. Do I need to do the promo one more time? I think I need to do the promo one more time. This is how intense this live is, okay?
You don't want to miss.
You have a dark soul.
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love in Marriage Huntsville, New Reunion Part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
The live has been that intense, ladies and gentlemen. The live has been that intense, okay? Glad to have all of you here on another edition of Virtual Tour Live. We do what we do over here. Try to give you conversation, connection, and really a consistency of letting you know what's happening in the world while giving soul to information and conjecture and just perspective. So we are glad to do it over here, and I'm glad to have all of you here. So not to mention Carly Russell having to pay $18,000 and to be facing a year in jail. Tyrese being sued by a director for $10 million. Just a lot going on, y'all. Just a lot going on. So yes, indeed. By the way, y'all, as y'all decide to come up, let me drop the link. I almost forgot. Let me drop the link. Nathan Nearest Green. Let me drop the link here. Let me see, because I want y'all to be able to watch that film on your own time. It is quite a powerful film, and let's see. Maybe I could talk to Uncle Nathan Nearest, not the person, of course, but maybe I could talk to them and see if. And there you go. There's the link right there, nearestgreen.com, if you guys want to go there and watch the film. But maybe I can talk to the distillery and see if they want to come on Virtual Tour Live, because I would love for them to. And maybe I can get a free bottle of whiskey and drink it on camera. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I want y'all to see this because y'all know that Sherry Shepherd's own TV with her own talk show. Been doing great. This is season 2. This is quite a powerful thing for season 2, okay? So let me... Y'all see it. Sherry Shepherd, Barbara Walters loved the view of Richard Pryor and Cher's hookup secret. So I'm going to play this from TMZ, okay? So I'm going to have to pause at times. But here we go. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Barbara Walters likes some chocolate. Um, listen, don't come at me, okay? These people share these stories and then I share them with all of you, okay? This is how it works, okay? They want these things to be talked about. They want these things to be talked about. So, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord Jesus. Oh my Lord. Y'all tell me why there's another phone call. There's another phone call from prison with Ernesto and Sorry talking about religion passing and Vladimir Putin. Lord help. What? Just okay. Okay. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Okay. So listen, all this is alleged, okay? Now, I'm saying allegedly in my opinion for entertainment purposes only to cover us over here. But you saw the clip. And so, so Barbara Walters interviewed Richard Pryor about 4 times. And oh, hang on, let me go back up. Oh, see this one here. I would get that one. Hang on. Y'all can't even see what I'm talking about. Hang on. Let me share it. Sorry, y'all. Here's the thing. I thought I was still on presenting screen right here. That one right there. If I had somebody, child. But yeah, it says here. Let me see here. But yeah, so the 70s, there was a senator named Senator Edward Brooke from Massachusetts. Okay, so I'm going to pull him up. Okay, I'm up just, because I don't know who this person is. Okay, all right, now listen. Hang on 1 second, y'all. Now, listen. Okay. That's him right there, y'all. That is him right there. That's him right there. He's not listen. I can see Barbara. Liking that. And then as he gets older, look, still got himself together. Everything got himself together. Look at that powerful chair right there. Yes, indeed. So, listen. Oh Lord. Okay. Oh, and here's the dress up close here from Fashion Nova. If I had a girlfriend, I would get her that. I absolutely would. Yes, I would. Although it might not be on her for too long, but that's neither here nor there. So we can just stop sharing that. I love y'all. I really do. I love y'all. Like I said, if y'all want to come up, feel free to come on up. We're just having a good time here. Hopefully all is well with all of you on a Wednesday night, a jam-packed show. So many topics. I'll be on Clubhouse a little bit later at 10/9 Central to talk about maybe one of the topics here. But yes, indeed. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Yes, to all the 3 people that are here. Thank you so much for being here. Rose Armstead, thank you so much. Janika Thompson, thank you for being here. Oh, yeah, thank you. T-Talk with your girl, thank you. Let's see here. Who else here? Shan, thank you for being here. Annette GL, thank you for being here. Rue Jones, thank you for being here. Yeah, I think that was everybody for being here. And so, y'all, listen, we started with Will and Jada, and we ended with Barbara Walters liking some chocolate. You never know what's going to happen when we go live on tour. Higher is waiting, lower is available. But either way, we are about to go on tour. Oh man, I really do love doing this show. I really do. Like I said before, Wendy Williams would say this damn show. But I understood why she said, because it's like after a while there's certain mechanics of your platform that's like, oh my god, only on this show would this happen. You know what I mean? So shout out to each and every one of you for believing in me, for being here, for the comments, the likes, the shares, just everything. It really does mean the world to me, and I truly do believe that this show is a whole brand by itself. As you guys know, this Saturday, well, actually, no, wait a minute, this Friday. I'm sorry, let me get myself together. This Friday will be the premiere of Ready to Love, Make a Move, and by the way, shout out to Rebuilding Black Wall Street with Morris Chestnut. That's premiering on 9/29. Let me make sure that Rebuilding Black Wall Street with Morris Chestnut.
Rebuilding Black Wall Street is a 2023 hyphenation.
So yes, this debuted. Okay, thank you, Google, so much. Okay, all right, awesome. So it premiered on September 29th at 9/8 Central. So it comes on at 9/8 Central. So the Birthing Center, the Family House, they did 2-episode premiere there. And they're going through all these different businesses. So, hang on. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. So the Birthing Center and the Family House. So I guess the next episode is going to be the farm, although I don't know where episode 3 is. But either way, you can watch that I think it's what? Thursday? Let me see. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I get the date for y'all, because I think this is when it airs. Let me go to my calendar. So Fridays at 9/8 Central. So Fridays 9/8 Central, Rebuilding Black Wall Street with Morris Chestnut. Of course, I covered it here because it matters. And so, like I said, I appreciate each and every one of you. Of course, this Friday, 8/7 Central, Ready to Love, Make a Move. And then I think we'll be on with a panel at 3:05 p.m. on Talk with Solana's channel. But don't quote me, though, yet, because once I know it, I will let y'all know. And then, of course, Saturday night, 9/8 Central, only here. Hashtag on Keep It Real. Well, I'm sorry. 8/7 Central, only here. Hashtag on Keeping It Real. A new episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Then right after that, 9/8 Central, the after show of after shows right here on this channel. So I think that's everything. I think we covered everything. No one wants to come up, so I will get rid of the link. I appreciate each and every one of you. So with that being said, it is time for the best outro on not Clubhouse, child. The best outro on YouTube. I'll be on Clubhouse later at 10/9 Central. With that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you weren't born special, because you were always born a blessing. And trust, you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Why, it's one thing to call yourself, it's another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. And hopefully by spending time together, we will rise up to be great together. Always remember where you're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life. Or, you are just recognizing that if it's been 7 years, Jada, it's time to get an actual divorce on paper. Doggone it. Make sure the replay is not just worth for you to watch it, not just worth for you to listen to it, but for you want to experience it again. I love you. I value you. I embrace you all. See you real soon. Good night, everybody.